Welcome to the webinar. Hello, everybody. Again, this is Steve Giordano from Photo Finale, and we're going to do a quick walkthrough of the Photo Finale consumer user interface. At the recent trade shows we attended, we noticed that there were some retailers who didn't know everything that the website did, so I thought I'd go through a step-by-step all the neat little bells and whistles that occur and can happen on the website to make it more convenient for your customers and more fun ultimately, and at the end of the day, more profitable. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I apologize if it sounds disjointed. I'm talking to a computer screen and not to a person, and I'm not used to not getting feedback, as those of you who know me know. So real quick, I'm going to be demonstrating the Photo Finale demo website, demo.photofinale.com. This website is a PF Enterprise website and has just about every bell and whistle that we have. If you notice something that you don't have on your website, feel free to reach out to our sales team and they can assist you with it, or our support team for how to turn something on. So let's get started. You'll notice here that the website has a header at the top, and this is what we call our mega menu. This mega menu can be customized for every dealer. It can have any list of products that you wish. These items up top can be prints and wall decor and cards. They could also be canvas, photo books and calendars, whatever it is you wish. And then within these categories, you have little sections that make it easier for the customer to sort and find. You could put little tags to highlight or call out things you want to impress upon the customers, and you can also add in imagery to make it easier for the customer to sort and understand what they're looking at in a more convenient way. One of the neat things we've been adding for stores lately. Yes?
I can't see
Hello?
the screen. Yeah, this is Rachel. I don't see the screen.
Ah, okay. Rachel just telling me you guys can't see the screen.
All right, that's good.
So,
now we can see it.
I told you guys I'm not a professional. Let's start again. This is the Photo Finale demo website. It is a PF Enterprise website, and I'm going to go through the features and functionalities of the website from a consumer standpoint. As you're looking at the site, across the top you have the header, which we call our mega menu, and this allows you to sort your products for your customers in the way that you want to merchandise them. They can be sorted in any way you wish. They can be a combination of products that are produced, like photo finishing products from prints to calendars and cards, to services, like photo services, like film processing, passport IDs, studio services, aerial photography, whatever it is you want to offer. And you can even call out to one of your proofing sites for professional photography or event imaging. So essentially, this header can be configured in any way you wish. You'll notice here that we have this ready in 1 hour store pickup section that we've been adding to a lot of sites these days. This is something you want to highlight, to call out that you could do fast and efficient printing for customers, as we know that the current customers are looking for very high-speed delivery. They're looking to get their images quickly, and you could price it separately for store pickup and 1 hour or overnight. So this is our mega menu across the top. Also across the top, you'll notice there are call-outs for managing the customer's account. So they can track orders, they can find stores, they can do a search, they can contact, just simple call-outs that will always be on the top. This will be the cart icon, and this is their account information. So let's take a look at prints. So let's go ahead and log in. I'm already logged in my account. And then you'll notice as soon as I go in, I will have my albums that I've uploaded previously. As you know, with Photo Finale, every image ever uploaded into an account is stored forever. This is a huge benefit as customers are becoming more and more omni-channel. And what that means is customers are starting in a store and they're finishing on a phone, or they're starting on a phone and they're going home on their home computer and then maybe finishing in the store. Because there's this concept of membership, it allows them to park not only images but also projects in their account at all times, and they can move between all of these interfaces very quickly and very easily. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and go over how to create a new collection. The customer would just create a new collection, and we're going to call this Steve. Upload, give it a description, and I'm going to save. Simply then go through and add your photos. You'll notice that the uploader is our own. We do not use a third-party uploader. and this ensures security and also speed. It is an interactive interface, letting the customer know what's being uploaded and multi-threaded as well. So notice these images are 7 megabytes each, most of them, just about. Looks like we have one small one there. So once the images are uploaded, the customer can then go through the interface and select what they'd like to order. So one of the uniquenesses about the Photo Finale system is that in most ordering systems, you have an image and then a list of products next to it, and then an image and a list of products, which makes it very inconvenient to be able to order from multiple images simultaneously. But here we just select some photos. I'm going to go ahead and select all. I'm going to say I want some 4x6s of these. Okay. I can then switch into a different catalog, and then I can order pictures from that catalog as well. And notice I can scroll very quickly to get through and look at all my images. And then I can order 5x7s of those photos. So I can order from multiple catalogs very efficiently and very easily. We also have pull downs here for multiple sizes. So you can have trays that can offer enlargements, metallic prints, giclée, canvas, 1 hour prints, whatever it is you'd like to offer. Let's say I want to order an 8x12 with that product, and it simply adds an 8x12 right there. All right. As I'm going through my user interface, I have the ability at all times to select a photo. I'm going to go ahead and select none. Select a photo, and I'd like to download it. And that'll allow me to download that individual picture right to my desktop, right? And then I can save it locally. I also have the ability to select multiple photos and download, which will give me a downloadable zip file that I'll be able to download. And I can take those files, and I take the original files out of the database, and now the customer has downloaded these 5 files as a zip file. Very simple. You also have another option where you can go into an individual catalog, all right, and let's go into new collections, or collection settings rather, and you can download a zip file of all 386 photos by clicking right here. So that's a way you can take your entire catalog, category and download the entire thing for your customers. This is very handy if you're using the system to upload rolls of film. So one of the things you can do, sorry for the police car outside the window, it's not for me. If you wanted to upload rolls of film, you can upload rolls of film into the account, select multiple files, and then let the customers download that way. So they'd be able to order from your rolls of film as well as download. While we're in the collection settings, let me go over another feature, which is privacy and sharing. I'm going to go ahead and pick this phone up. I apologize for the outside noise. Under privacy and sharing, you can take each collection and you can decide how you're sharing these files. You can make it private, meaning accessible to people that only you share the link with, or public, meaning anybody can see it. And then all you would do is copy this link and share it with people. Now, you could share your collections from Photo Finale to all your friends and family. You could put an optional password if you'd like for it to be password protected. And you can also add a watermark if you want the images to be protected from download and also from theft. So very easily, you can add privacy and sharing generally. This is a little known feature for how to share collections. This is very handy for families who have events like Thanksgiving or Easter where they have a big party and then they take all the pictures and then they can share out the collection with their friends and family. Okay, so that's sharing. While you're in the prints workflow, you can also go through and look at the image in full screen view, and you can scroll through this way. Okay, so as you're going through the view, you can then look at your images, and you can decide, wait a minute, I want to update a photo, or I want to edit a photo rather. So let's go here, we'll pick the FAM, and we're going to go ahead and do edit, and we're going to edit with PicMonkey. Okay, now PicMonkey is a little known feature to a lot of users, but it's actually very handy, and about 5% of orders include some sort of edit or modification to it. And now PicMonkey is very flexible. It allows customers to do things such as cropping. They can do image enhancements and auto adjust. They can use filters and effects like boost and soften. They can do visual effects like blemish fix, spray tan, teeth whitening, lip tint, eyebrow, all sorts of great stuff. My daughter loves playing with this feature right here. They can add text at any point with all sorts of variable text. and do all sorts of interesting things with text. They can then also add stickers, so they could go ahead and add stickers at any point in time. Let's see if they want to add a heart. I'll put it right here, so you get the idea. You can do anything you want with these features. You could add frames, which is one of my favorite features, right? And I'm going to go ahead and add a museum mat type feature to this thing. Simple as that. I'm going to hit apply. Okay, and then when I'm done, I simply hit export, and I'm going to save as a copy, and then that'll put that right back into my Photo Finale account. And you'll see it in the account right here. Boom, there's my updated photo. So now I can take this and order and do whatever I want. I can order it 8x10 of that photo right there, just like that. Okay, so the Prints workflow has editing functionality, it has download functionality, it has the ability to sort collections, it has the ability to share collections, add privacy setting and watermark to the collections, and order from multiple trays of your standard and large prints. Okay. Once you're done with your print order, you simply hit checkout, and then it'll allow you to crop the images for the aspect ratio, and you can go through, or the customer can use fit to page, which will then print the entire image as they go. They simply hit next, and then it'll add to cart, and away you go. Now, because our system always has a menu at the top, it never changes. The header never goes away. Also, you'll notice the URL never changes. It's always under your domain. The customer can then choose to add something like a premium gallery wrap. And then you have a gallery wrap page. This description, these prices, and the products themselves are all driven from what's called a macro in our system. So if you wanted to update your website and you wanted to update these pages, you simply go into MyLab, which hopefully you guys are familiar with, product catalogs, and then you can go into that product and update the icon. So every single page within the Photo Finale system, when you're in Enterprise, the price and the icons and the descriptions that are driven to Google for SEO are all driven from the MyLab system. So I'm going to go into my Canvas section. I think that was previous gallery wrap, and I'm going to go ahead and edit the product settings, and you'll notice that that's the photo and that's the description, and then the price range is from the products in that group. So with the new PF Enterprise and macro system, you're able to edit and modify your entire website directly out of MyLab without having to work with HTML or browsers or content management systems. So I could go through and do the same thing with photo cards. Photo cards, which you'll notice now, is it shows icons for the different size cards. Now, because you can change this in MyLab, you should be changing these graphics out on a regular basis. So as you're getting new content for Christmas or new content for Father's Day, you want to update these icons to keep them more relevant with the customers and going forward. So let's go ahead and see what it takes for a customer to order a gallery wrap. They simply come in here, they choose they want to do a gallery wrap, and then it'll start making the gallery wrap. Do you want colored edges or photo wrap? Choose photo wrap. Give it a name. As you know, within their system, every project can have its own name. So I can go back and modify it later. And then simply, I'm making my gallery wrap. Within the gallery wrap, you can do things like zoom. So I'm going to zoom in on my wife. She's going to be really happy about this. Right? I can go ahead and add text. I can rotate. I can change the opacity. I can remove it, so on and so forth. Then I simply add to cart. Once I add to cart, I have attributes which can be added to add value to this order. So I could say, oh, I want to add a black floating frame for $30. And then I'm going to add to cart, and away we go. Okay, and you'll see the attribute right there. You can also go through and let's go ahead and lay out a photo book. So let's do a prestige style lay flat photo book. I'm going to go through and do an 8x8 photo book. I'll just choose a simple stylish, we'll do black. Simply hit continue. Give it a name, and now it's in your system. You can autofill or manual fill. For the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and do a manual fill. How many pages would you like? And now I'm starting to lay out a photo book. Okay, and now I just simply lay photos in. Now, once I'm laying out photos across my book and I'm going over the pages, You'll notice down at the bottom here, I have layout, background, add photo, or add text. So layout is if I want to change the layout of a page, and I want to change it to this layout, for example, which is 2-image. Background if I wanted to change the background for whatever reason I wanted to go to a red background. Add photo means I want to add a photo ad hoc, which is not part of my standard layout, right? So I want to put this one here and resize it, move it over here. For whatever reason, I want to move it to the back. So now I'm going to just start laying out my images. Now the beauty of our system is that when I'm laying out the images, at any point in time, if I don't like what I came up with, go ahead, these are terrible images here. If I wanted to lay out my images, I could just say, oh, wait a minute, I want this one to come to the front, bring it forward. I need to rotate that, right? Move it over here. And then I can say, wait a minute, none of this is working for me. I need to go back to a SnapGrid layout. I need to go to a different layout like this, and that'll rotate, and that'll put it over here. So at any point in time the customer gets lost, they just go back and they can change the layout and go back to something like this. They can also take an image, let's say, for example, this image, and I could say I want to make that my background for the whole page. And then I wanted to maybe change the opacity of that, make it a little opaque, right? And then I wanted to add another photo to it, I could. So I can add a photo at any point in time. And it remembered my 4th photo from the last time I had an edit. And there you go. So not a very good photo page, but now we've laid it out. You can also add text at any point in time. Put it up here, add some text, right? And then you just go through and you can change the font type to whatever that's called. I can change font size, a little too big, close. And you get the idea, change the color, so on and so forth. But you can keep adding fonts and adding text at any point in time. You also have the ability at any point in time to edit any photo in a photo book and send it to PicMonkey to be able to modify, which is kind of a handy little feature. The other thing you have is, unlike other photo book softwares, you have the ability at any point in time to add in photos from other things like Facebook or Instagram, but also to go ahead and upload new photos. So maybe I'm missing a photo, I can go through and upload this photo, and I could say, no, I don't want to add that to the autofill. And then I can grab that new photo that I just uploaded and use that in my photo book. So at any point in time, the customer can go back and add photos as they wish. I continue to step 2. You notice it then says your product includes an additional item to customize, which in this case is a photo book cover. And I'm going to make a custom cover for this photo book. I simply hit next. And now I'm laying out my photo book, as simple as that. Okay, add to cart. And I then have a fully finished photo book. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about services. So let's say you do things. Let's look at mugs real quick. One of the neat things about our system now is when you look at GIFs, we have a quite interesting way of laying out GIFs. They could look really quite elegant for you, but all this information is pulled out of the MyLab system. So it'll pull the pricing, it'll pull the image, and pull the description for SEO. So all you're doing is you're filling out your catalog in MyLab, and then these pages are automatically developed. Okay. The same thing can happen with photo services. So we don't think that right now you're going to sell a lot of 120 and 220 film through the Photo Finale system. However, by adding all of your services, your film processing, your video transfer, your restoration, all of those other services, as merchandise through the Photo Finale system, it adds it into your SEO and your web page for people to search for and Google to index for you. So by not having it in your website now, you're basically saying you don't have those services. Now customers will be able to come to your website, do a quick search, and find out that you do scanning. Maybe they didn't want to look around and they just wanted to do scanning. And then it'll show them all the scanning options that you have in your system. Oh, negative scanning, I didn't know they did that. And then it'll show you the negative scanning, it'll give you the information on it. Now you can sell it as a prepay if you'd like to, and the customer would bring the receipt in and have a prepaid scanning. But really the idea is to upsell and let people know that there's the ability to do the scanning and to do rolls of film or whatever other services you have. So let's look at slide scanning, for example. You'll notice now under slide scanning, as it shows up, it's got a cross out right here. And what I'm showing there is slide scanning is on sale for 30%. And again, that is done automatically by the system if you're in the enterprise with macros. Essentially, you set up a promotion in your Lab 50, and anytime the system detects that promotion is valid for the customer, it will display the original price and then also the discounted price. But now that's also in your SEO, and that's also in your customers searching. So now they'll be able to see everything that they've done, or that you have to offer, all of your products and services. So if you'd like to add products and services, we have most of these things already filled out for you. You could just borrow all our looks and our icons and our images and our descriptions, or you can write your own and provide your own. But you should be adding everything from studio events, film processing, passport photos. That's a big one to add for Google to index. Go ahead and put your passport photos on there with any information that you want to have about passport photos, so on. And I guess you get the idea there. You can also link your Photo Finale website to your proofs page. Now this is for professional photography and an event. So if customers then would link over here to see your proofs, and they may be able to go and find their events that they had, that you were shooting. Maybe there were 5K races, or there were some event in-house studio work that you had done. Customers can simply come in here and order from your proofing page. So that's all linkable from your main site. But the things that you'll notice, the real improvements of the Photo Finale system are the header up here never changes. The customer is always walked through and can always find where they are. They don't ever really get lost. They can come through and look at more information at any time about each product. They get as many pages as you want under Enterprise. It tells you what the production time, what the window choices, page count, so on and so forth. But the URL never changes from your URL, and it's always HTTPS everywhere. Customer wants to order this, they go Contour Graphics, and now I'm making a product. Again, we talked about memberships as being vital to the success of your organization. You'll notice here I can come in and I can look at my saved projects at any time. And these are all the projects I've ever made under demo.photofinale.com. At any point in time, I could go back and open up a project. And I could see that project as it was at that point in time. Now, why is this important? This is important for customers that start a project on a kiosk, let's say, and they can't finish in time and they go home and they want to start it back up at home. Customers that start at home and then have a question and want to come into the store, or start on a phone and finish at home on a computer, or any combination of that. Having a project stored in your account allows you to do that. Another way to use it is the way my wife uses it, which is she made a photo book of my son about 4 years ago, Jackson, and every so often she'll add additional pages to that photo book. And she can keep reordering that photo book over and over again as it grows larger and larger. And the story of Jackson evolves within your account. So the idea behind selling photo books is that you shouldn't sell one time. You should sell one over continuous times. The stories can evolve and change, or people can order multiples or reorder them because they're all in their account. All right, Rachel, I'm going to open up to questions if you have any. If you can Slack them to me. I can't really see the question window, but that is our user interface in a nutshell. If there's anything you'd like to see or anything I didn't go over, please post it in the comment section and we'll be happy to share information about it. There are no questions. That is a first. Well, hopefully the new features that we went over that you haven't seen before are mainly the ability to download multiple images and attributes for the prints workflow. And hopefully you'll find those interesting. In the next day or so, you're going to see a new icons that show up right here in the prints workflow that allow you to resize these photos so you can have larger thumbnails. And that'll be available probably in the next 2 days. So there'll be a little plus or minus sign right here as soon as they come. Under photo books, I see a pro quality banner. How did you add that? Let me see. Under photo books, I'm not sure I understand the question.
He's talking about that little pink tag in the menu. Roll over the menu.
Right here, pro quality. So those are things that you can add in the mega menu. So essentially, if you want to add tags into the mega menu, you just let us know at our support team and they'll add those. So let's say you want to call something out specifically. It's good to change that up. So if you want to change these old tags on a periodic basis, just let us know and we'll swap them out for you. See, like obviously coming soon is not needed on that one. But these are just things you can call out in the mega menu and customizations that our support team will do for you. Can you upload images into a customer's account without logging in? Okay, this is a fantastic question. This is how you would do scanning. So if you do ScannerBox or you do film scanning, you should be always putting those images into the Photo Finale account for the member. This way they can download more conveniently than Dropbox, but they can also reorder or order prints immediately from within the system. And then over time, every roll of film that they've ever processed with you will be in the system. So here's how to do that. Open up MyLab. Hopefully you guys are all familiar with MyLab. Okay. And then if the customer has an account, go ahead and find their account name. So I'm going to go ahead and look for my own. Okay. So I'm going to look under Steven Giordano. And here's my membership account. Oh, that's Chris. So I'm going to go to, there's my account. I go under membership, and then I click login as customer. And that'll log you in as the customer. And then from there, you're logged in as them, and then you can simply upload a new collection into their system. So this is a different Steve Giordano account. So now I would go through and I would add in, I would create a new collection. And we'll call this, March 18th roll of film. And then you would simply select the files and upload them into their account. And now you've uploaded their roll of film in their account, and you could send them a notification that you've done so, and they can log in and take a look at their photos. So simply, it's as simple as going into MyLab, finding their membership account, and logging in as a customer. This is also a place where you can generate a one-time password for a customer. You can never see their password because we're secure in our system, but you can generate a temporary password for that customer to change their password if they're in the store. They can also do a forgot password link, but this is a way you could do it for them manually very quickly. We also have a pro uploader that'll be coming very soon. I know you've heard me say that for about 5 months now, but I expect it to be coming very soon, probably about the summer time frame. And what that'll be is an uploader piece of software that'll sit in your lab and allow you to upload anything from scanner boxes, rolls of film, or what have you right into a customer's account without going through MyLab. The next question is, can you go into more detail on setting up pages, macros, and attributes? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what an attribute looks like on a print first, because I realized I didn't do that, or I was reminded I didn't do that by Rachel. Let's go ahead and, I'm not sure what print has attributes. Silverline is under production, so I'm not going to use Silverline right now. I don't know what Silverline is doing there. So how do you set up the macros? So essentially macros, if you haven't switched to PF Enterprise yet, or you haven't switched to a new PFSR system within the last 4 months, you don't have macros yet. Essentially what you have to do is contact the sales team or support team and let them know you want to implement macros. And what that allows you to do is it allows the website to inherit categories and descriptions and prices without you having to update the HTML or us updating the HTML. So it's just an easier, more modern way of dealing with your interface. So if you haven't updated in the last 4 months with our people, just give our sales or support team a call. Oftentimes it's going to be no charge. Sometimes it will be a charge depending on how old your system is. But essentially, we'll set you up on the macros and get you going there. With attributes, I'm going to go ahead and go into attributes. For setting up attributes on a product, it's as simple as this. So if you remember the attribute that we showed for Canvas where we added a frame, if you go into your catalog, I'm going to go ahead and go into my default catalog. Takes a second. Go into Premium Gallery Wrap, Landscape. I'm going to edit a product. Okay, let's, for example, take the 10 by 8. Down here, underneath the product description, you're going to scroll down to a product called Product Options. You're going to enable it, and it'll say Display on all pages, which I'll show you what that means in a second. And it'll have an update for a floating frame or walnut. So you just put a list of options. You want your default item to be the primary item, no wrap with no price adjustment. And then you simply add in your other options. For prints, a lot of people use a foam core backing or lamination as an option. For Canvas, obviously adding a floating frame is good. Some people do it for surface type. For cards, for flat cards or folded cards, it could be a surface type. So it can really be anything, the attribute. It could either be priced or unpriced. And you can put a fulfillment override in here, which will change the product ID for production. And what that does is it makes it so your Lab 50 is more efficient for these products once they're upgraded. Okay. All right, next question is, when building a book, is it possible to copy text from another app and paste it into the book engine so you don't have to type it all in? So the answer is yes, you can cut and paste. However, there are some font sets that don't work within our system. A great example of that is Apple does not license their emoji font set. So if a customer is copy and pasting an emoji from an iPhone into our book builder, it's going to have an error when it goes to create the prints. However, one of the good things about the system, which is a new feature, let me go ahead and open my PhotoBook. See, I have an account here, so let me go save projects. Oh, I need to log out of this account into my other account. Hold on. Let me sign back into. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go into my projects. And then notice these are my projects from before. I'm going to open this project. A new feature of PhotoBooks that you may have not seen is the preview feature. And when you click the preview feature, it actually does a little watermark on it so people can't copy the PhotoBook and paste it. But it'll show the PhotoBook as it will be actually rendered on the page of a book versus it'll be how it'll be rendered on the screen. So one of the dangers with laying out PhotoBooks on a computer is there's scaling that happens everywhere. Your phone is smaller than your computer screen, which is different than your kiosk. So the scaling can always have small changes here and there. By hitting the preview button, you'll get exactly how it will be printed on the page so the customer can preview it. And they'll be able to see what happens with that font set. So while the emoji font may work in the user interface because Windows understands or just copies the bitmap of the emoji, when it goes into the preview mode, the emoji will disappear and it will not show up. So the customer will be able to see that. So training your customers to preview projects prior to printing is something that's pretty important over time. Will projects from the current site transfer to the enterprise site? Yes. So anything you do with the front end, moving from, for example, PFSR to enterprise, your back end stays identical. The only thing you're adding is additional merchandising, a better SEO, better SEM, and a better interface for updating and modifying your data. So all your customer data, your images, and your projects all stay the same underneath the hood. And then so upgrading to enterprise is additive. It doesn't hurt anything in your system. Are all the features that I've talked about today only enterprise? No, the only one that is only enterprise is the multiple pages in the mega menu. So essentially, if you're in the Photo Finale system, this menu up here would be more like I don't know who we haven't converted yet. Let me see. Photo, I'm going to pick on one of my customers, Photo ProPix. This is a very good customer of ours from Iowa. Notice this is an enterprise system without the mega menu. So they haven't been upgraded yet, although he has purchased it and he's going to be upgrading. This is what the standard system looks like. This is what PFSR would look like as well. It would be a single page with all your information about your store, very responsive, works well on mobile, but doesn't have the depth. Whereas if you look at this design site, it's got full depth of pages for everything from photo books to calendars to business signage, so you can see all sorts of information and depth to the product mix. Okay, so the difference really is Enterprise gives you a lot more depth to the pages. PFSR is just as functional, just not as deep, and which is what you want if you want to have a good SEO. I always tell people, here's the metric that I use. When people are new with online imaging, you expect them to be making about $1,000 a month per store. As people evolve and mature, you want to see about $3,000 a month per store. And at that point, you need to at least be on a PFSR platform at the $3,000 a month per store platform. If you want to take that next step to 10,000 plus per store on average in monthly sales, you really have to invest in your SEO and your interface. You need to look more mature as a business. So I think you put yourself on that track. Where are you on that $1,000, $3,000, $10,000 track per month? And if you need to take that step from $3,000 a month to $10,000, you need to invest a little bit to get yourself there. So our files always uploaded at the original resolution and what file types can be uploaded. So when you're uploading files, they are all uploaded. It really depends on what you do. So if you choose to upload some photos, if you choose original size, it'll upload the original file up to 36 megapixel. So that's a pretty big file, and that'll be the original file, and it won't scale it at all. If you choose one of the scaling options because maybe your environment is slower, maybe you don't have a good Wi-Fi connection where you are, and you're just ordering 4x6s, so you want to do a scaled image. In that case, it will scale it to whatever the size you choose, whether it's small or medium. And I don't know the exact sizes on those, but they're appropriate for the sizes that you see there. If you're doing a roll of film for a customer or a scanner box, you want to upload at original size and upload the entire roll of film there into their account. And then when they download, they'll get the original files. As you can see from earlier, I downloaded 873 megabyte zip file from the site on accident while we were talking the entire. So this, I don't know where that zip file went, but I don't know where I saved it to. I lost my file. Let's see where it was. Anyway, it was well, wherever it is. That's my files. Okay. And what's the best ways for customers to get photos from a phone onto the site? Okay, so that's a great question. I would say if somebody's on the phone, you want to leave them in the phone. I don't have the ability to demonstrate the phone interface per se right now, but what I can do is, let me see. I think I can get you into. So this is what the website would look like on a phone. Essentially, you want them to order from the phone. When all your emails are sent out, they should be mobile friendly. They should have call to actions for the phone. So when somebody wants to go through and look what a mega menu looks like, see how nice that looks on a phone? So I'm going to go under cards and stationery. See how easy it is on a phone? Very slick, very simple. And I can go through and order. So when they're on a phone, if they're on their phone, just leave them on their phone. Let them order. It's only when you get into complicated things like photo books that it gets a little more complicated. They can also use our app, which we highly recommend for the iPhone users. And you simply use the app to upload. So there's no difference. But you can see here, we're fully capable of, in a phone interface, creating calendars, and it works identically in a phone interface as it does for the PC. So the only difference is you little tray pops out instead. So when you go to the next page, right, and then you could add information on the text fields or add a text box somewhere or what have you. You get the idea. All right, let me get out of phone mode. Okay. Any other questions? Can you log in as a customer from a proofing site? So that's an interesting question. Can you log in as a customer? So in the proofing site, it works a bit different. Proofing sites work not with accounts, but actually with MyLab access. So if I was a proofing site, if you knew your client's proofing site, so for example, a professional photographer has a proofing site, you would have their copy of their MyLab credentials because they're a sub-account of yours, and you would just log into their MyLab to manage their events. And if you haven't seen the way that works is if I go here to I'm going to go to my dashboard here. And I'm going to go into my Prestige Proofing MyLab, the one that we were just showing. And then you'll see this Events tab right here. This is where you manage the events for the proofing tab. So if you see all of these events right here, when I go under when I go back to Photo Finale and I go to my proofing section and I view my proofs, you'll notice that these are the events that are in the MyLab for that proofing event system. And then you would just go into the gallery. This one has one collection. You can go in there and then you can view the photos for that collection and upload additional if you'd like. So managing some of these events is not like managing an account. It's more like managing a MyLab. Okay. Rachel, I don't understand that question. If you could chime in and tell me. I didn't understand.
I think they were asking about if a consumer can have an account on a proofing site.
Oh no, so yeah, that's a good question. Consumers cannot have accounts on proofing sites. Consumers could just access and print from proofing sites. But one of the things they can do on a proofing site, which is a uniqueness, which I think is really a big advantage over SmugMug, for example, is if I'm on a proofing site and I go into the Santa photos and I see these photos here and I want to make let's say I wanted to make a collage from those, right? So I'm making a collage from the Santa photos. Just pretend these are Santa photos for the sake of this presentation. And then I said, wait a minute, I wanted to change the layout to this one, and I also wanted to add in my own photos. You could come in here and upload my personal photos to mix with event photos. So now a photo book can be a mixture of pictures I've taken, but also maybe pictures that were taken at the 5K race. Or if it's a wedding, I could take the professional photography that was done by the photographer, and I can mix it with my personal photography of maybe some cameos that I got during the event. So essentially, there you go. So you can add in consumer images as well as professional images into a single product in proofing, which makes for a very unique experience, especially over SmugMug. And more customers want to mix images. They want that great shot the photographer took, but they also want that, candid shot of grandpa and the granddaughter dancing on the dance floor that the photographer missed. Another question is, where do I add business signage and photo services? So you add those right in your MyLab. So if you don't have business signage capability in your store, you can register and work with our Prestige catalog. We have a Prestige business catalog. Or you can just go ahead and add the products right from Lab 50 or MyLab. Just go ahead and do create a new category and do add products and do signage, and you'll find it all in there. So the way that looks is, let me log out here. So if you wanted to add a business product, for example, you just go to your product catalog. You go into where you want to add it. Let's say, for the sake of argument, I'm going to add it to cards. Right? I just want to edit, put a product in here. I can do add a product, and then I just type in, let's say banner, and then it'll find all the banner products we have under business. We're going to do a banner stand, and we're going to add that product. I simply hit OK. I'm not going to do it because we're on the live site, and then it'll add business product, that product to your system. So search for whatever products you want to add right through MyLab, and you can add them through the system. If you have any problems, email our support team. They'll be happy to help you in a very, very fast way, and there's no charge for any of that. So anytime you want to add something, just email us, and we'll help you out. Okay. So somebody's got a question about shipping features, and this is more and more we're talking about shipping and adding shipping to the system. The way most people are adding shipping right now is in a flat rate shipping, and you do that in Lab 50. So if you open up Lab 50, you go to your shipping, you add express and standard shipping, you do flat rate. However, that's not very effective for a lot of cases, because obviously a 40x60 canvas ships a lot differently than a 4x6 print. In that case, what you really want to do is create up shipping groups. Okay? The way shipping groups work is they're like products. So let's say Big Books is a shipping group I created. And what you're going to do is you're going to give it a price. For up to 5, it's $3.99 standard USPS, $5.99 2-day, and you're going to have for each additional another $2.99 or $4.99. And then what you're going to do is add products into that group. So you click on products here, and you simply go through and add products that you'd like to add there. So you can use tags or products. So you could say, I'll add all canvas, or you could say specifically, I want to add the Quick Look book to this Big Books quick shipping group. So I'm going to look up quick. Okay, it's doing a database search. Okay, let's just assume these were the products I wanted. And I simply click here. And now those products are now in that shipping group. Okay? And it's just simple as that. So what you do is you create tags or groups. So calendars are going to cost this much. Canvas is going to cost this much. Prints are going to cost that much. The easiest way to do it is to bulk up your products as far as type. So canvases, wall art, so on and so forth. And then create different pricing and quantity breaks based on shipping method. And once you do all that, then the system will take care of it downstream in the cart. We have a wiki page for how to set up the features. So if you haven't been to wiki.photofinale.com, please go to wiki.photofinale.com and just do a search for shipping groups, and it'll be a full explanation of what I just showed there. So can video and or GIF files be used in place of JPEG still images on the site? Can a GIF be used to show front and back of a product, for example? Yes. So if you're in the enterprise system and you wanted to be able to display video or GIF, this is a pure HTML content management system. You can add whatever you'd like into the front end. It will help you figure it out. So adding video is a great idea. Adding GIF is also a good idea. You want to make sure page load still is efficient, but yes, you can add a GIF to show. And there's some examples of that with one of our customers, Mailpix, who likes to show off how easel-back canvases work, and they use GIFs to do that. So yes. But that won't be something that's, the GIF and the video will not be something that's loaded by the macro, though. So that's one thing to point out. That's something that'll be loaded independently. Macros will be JPEG and text only. What type of files can be uploaded into customer accounts? Well, right now we support mostly JPEG. If you're uploading from an iPhone, it'll convert the JPEGs from the HEIC files or into JPEGs as it transmits them. You can upload PNG files as well. However, you do lose transparency in some of the printing methods. So as a PNG file is transmitted down to a printer, depending on how that printer treats a PNG file, your transparency may go away. So PNG files can be problematic from time to time, so you need to pay attention to it. Another thing to look out for is a lot of customers are playing around with color spaces now. So with your output in your Lab 50, making sure you have your normalized for sRGB option set for each printer will help get away with what most people would see as a red tint every now and then on a print. And if that's occurring, it's probably a different color space that's being uploaded. So you can normalize for sRGB through our printing system. But JPEG is the primary thing we support. We also support PNG file to some degree. Wow, this is great. Originally, we didn't have any questions. I feel pretty excited about all these questions. Again, one of the things we want you to look for as you port to the enterprise system, as you guys are all looking forward to making $10,000 a month, at least in revenue per store, making sure that you're looking at promotion and how you're treating promotion in your store. A lot of people have very pretty websites with very pretty images and no call to action. Looking out and making sure that there's call to action on every page, kind of like this gallery wrap. I'll pick on one of our other customers, Bedford Picks, which you guys probably hear me talk about too often. But having some sort of promotion and call to action, whether it's for free shipping or site-wide promotions or specific promotions on your front page is something you want to make sure you do on a regular basis. I recommend every month running some sort of promotion. And if you don't have any ideas, email me, text me, or your sales guy, and we'll be happy to work with you to come up with something. Or the best bet is just follow Shutterfly. Whatever they have on promotion, run it with them. They kind of know the data and they know what sells at what time of year. One thing to also remember, contrary to popular opinion, the #2 photo holiday for Photo Finale customers every year is Father's Day, not Mother's Day. Father's Day is the #2 holiday. And the reason is that mothers do the printing, not the fathers. So make sure as you're putting your promotions, you're getting ready for it. Promote your Mother's Day because we all want to respect our mothers, but you're going to make a lot more money on Father's Day because mothers spend more money. So pay attention to that and make sure you have a Father's Day promotion running. The setting for normalized to sRGB is in the print, the Lab 50 print settings. So for each individual printer. So it's in the Lab 50 print settings. Email our support team if you don't know where it is. They'll be happy to email you back. PDFs are PDFs for business printing coming. Yes, you will see a lot of new things from us this year from business. I'm not going to announce a timeline right now, but I would say that that is on the horizon. And that's something that we'll probably have very shortly. And somebody's asking me for promos that work. Well, it depends on the time of year, but I would say, and also depends on your location. Here's something that I discovered with a customer that was very effective. They're in downtown DC, and they're in a heavy younger person area, very young and upwardly mobile type people. And having pictures of babies on books and calendars and T-shirts and canvas prints wasn't that effective because they didn't identify with it. When she switched all her samples to pets, it became much more effective sales tool by knowing your market. So I would say look at your market, know who your customers are. If you're in an area with a lot of apartment buildings with a lot of young upwardly mobile people, you have to remember that millennials generally prefer travel and experience to cars and possessions. And what that means is having canvases, samples be things like a trip to Bali or Costa Rica or beautiful experience type photos is going to help you sell your canvases a lot better than that picture of a puppy. So just paying attention to your market is the most important thing. But at this time of year, it's a slow time for us all. I would say get ready for Mother's Day and Father's Day and graduation and wedding. Those are coming and we need to pay attention to those. So cards for graduation are going to be a big item in coming in April. And I would say getting ready for Father's Day in April and Mother's Day in April as well. So running some sort of promotion on those items is something you should look at. Another person's asking, Is it better to use a coupon or just offer a promotion directly to all customers? So here's the schools of thought. Some people say don't offer any promotion or discount to anybody who's not a member. Membership can be free, but it's got to come with a value. So you want people to become members of your site. If you're offering 20% off Canvas, make sure they have to be a member. The reason for that is people who are members buy more, people who are members pay attention more, and they feel like they buy into the process. It's something innate in what we do as people. Once we're a member of something, we feel like we're part of a team. So getting them to be members is one idea. Another idea is offer promotions to everybody and just let everybody take advantage of it. Don't make anybody type in a coupon. And this is the quick way to go, but it's harder to build a long-term relationship with a customer if you're not creating value of storage and value of projects. So I don't know that I like the idea of promotions for everything. Every now and then run a promotion on everything, but generally I like to tie it to membership. And the only reason to ever have a coupon code required, from my standpoint, is if you wanted to track how the campaign worked from email or print ads. So only use a coupon number if you needed to track, for example, if you did advertising on Google and you enter this promo code so you'll know that the Google ad worked. Or if you want to do a billboard, by entering this coupon, you can track and see if that billboard worked. So only use coupon codes to track how successful your marketing is, in my opinion. I think you basically offer it easy. The easiest way to offer it is not to make them enter the coupon, but make them be a member. But you guys can make your decisions as you go through that system. With the browse by occasion category sort, are products categorized by tags? Yes, every product in the content. So I don't know, people might not know what this is, and this is a feature that's kind of gone out of favor. We don't use it that often anymore. But if I'm on the site and I could browse by occasion right here, I could click here and I could find out, okay, what birthday content do I have? And what that's going to look at actually is any product, creative product, that had birthday as a tag. So be a birthday greeting cards, a birthday gift, or a birthday wall decor. So for example, if I go in there and I go into wall clings, college clings, landscape, all right, and then I'm going to get to my happy birthday content. So the way it's tagged is based on the content, not necessarily any product tag that's for the product. So it has to do with more what's in the product itself. So it's a neat feature. It's something that we used to really promote heavily. It's kind of gone out of favor with us for I don't know why, because actually, as I just used it, it was pretty darn cool. So maybe we should look that up again and start using it more. But that's how occasions work. Okay, we've taken just about an hour here. If there isn't any last questions, I'm going to bid you adieu and thank you for your time. And I apologize for the discombobulated nature of the presentation. It's so strange for me to talk to you without seeing you or hearing from you. It's rather odd, but I appreciate your time, and thank you guys all for being a Photo Finale customers. And this has been recorded, and we'll be posting it through our channels and more than likely through the buying groups and message boards. So again, I appreciate your time, and thank you for being Photo Finale customers. Have a great day.